Gavin Newsom is running to become Trump's top antagonist. The California governor, or more accurately, his staff, has been mimicking the president's trademark all-caps Truth Social rants with posts like this. Donald Taco Trump, as many call him, missed the deadline, 3 exclamation points. California will now draw new, more beautiful maps. They will be historic as they will end the Trump presidency. Dems take back the House. Earlier, Newsom held a press conference to unveil California's new redistricting push. Watch.
Today is Liberation Day in the state of California. And as Senator Schiff said, Donald Trump, you have poked the bear, and we will punch back. We cannot unilaterally disarm. They want to rig these elections, and they want the power that gerrymandering provides, because they know what Donald Trump knows. He's going to lose the midterms.
Somebody else was at the Newsom news conference. Border Patrol agents were outside arresting illegal immigrants, and it sure set off the governor.
Pretty sick and pathetic. And it just said everything you need to know, the setting that we're under. That they chose the time, manner, and place to send their district director outside right when we're about to have this press conference. Said everything you know about Donald Trump's America. And that was top down. You know that for a fact. They'll deny it, I'm sure. Maybe they won't deny it. Said everything you know about the authoritarian tendencies of the President of the United States.
What do you think of that, Charlie?
The guy is such a faker. He's such a fraud. It's so absurd. Who has time to come sit down and make up all of these tweets? And if you read them, he put a lot of effort into it. And he really did try to sort of like get the voice of Trump. And I just, you know, when you look at the real problems that California faces with whether it's the same ones that, you know, that we face nationally with illegal immigration, but also the very specific ones, you have entire neighborhoods that were burned to the ground a year ago that are desperate to rebuild, and his government is preventing people from rebuilding those houses. You would think that he might focus on that instead of doing these ridiculous effort to try to channel Trump. One of his tweets at 9:42 this morning said, Donald Trump and Greg Abbott are going to have a very bad day today, which sounds a lot like Baghdad Bob or like the mullahs in Iran when they're like talking junk on Twitter as Donald Trump is like bombing their nuclear facilities. He's ridiculous. He's completely unserious. He reminds me a lot of Michael Avenatti before Michael Avenatti went off to prison, when everybody was like, oh, this guy's going to be the next president. This guy's not going to be president. This guy is a ridiculous buffoon, and he's not going anywhere. It does remind you, though, how much of a complete original Donald Trump is. You know, all these people want to like mimic him. He's not mimicking anybody. He is the original.
Yeah, I think that I hate it when people copy everything else. Like when my sister did it to me, that would drive me insane.
Wow.
Yeah, Angie, hardest hit. But several of these people are trying that, or they're trying to be tough, and it's not authentic. And it's like, just why not just try to be yourself? It's the worst way that you can try to find some sort of cohesion with people outside of your bubble is to just be yourself, not to try to be somebody else, and in this case, Trump.
But themselves have been rejected again and again now by the voters. Voters don't want defunding the police, defending the criminals, higher taxes, more regulations. Look at his California. Everything beautiful about California was God-made. Every disaster there, to me, seems man-made. And he's the man right now of the moment. I'm not even sure anybody tuning in, Dana, let alone a California, halfway into his press conference, even knows what he's talking about. They presume that we all know what brought us to that moment, that platform says rigging, Election Rigging Response Act, Adam Schiff's behind him, of all people. Next, they're going to invite Kamala up to the podium. I mean, Adam Schiff, of all people, who's got a true problem on his hands, having lied in the mortgage application thing. He's a senator from California, yet somehow he lives in Maryland. And here's a guy who lied to all of us day after day. There's evidence of Russia collusion in plain sight. This is relevant now because these investigations will continue. I don't think this is a case of flattery is the greatest, imitation is the greatest form of flattery. I think it's a messageless, rudderless, leaderless party. And by the way, just north of him up in Alaska, starting tomorrow, President Trump is going to literally own the turf again. He's trying to bring about yet another peace deal. We have Armenia and Azerbaijan. We have Cambodia and Thailand. We have what he's doing in the Middle East. We have direct foreign investment, all these trade deals. He goes to the Gulf states. He comes out of there with investments in this country. And now he's going to do it again with Putin. And meanwhile, you've got Shifty Schiff and Newsom trying to troll him online. By the way, Donald Trump is one of one. Even Republicans who try to act like him often come
They
up
fail,
short.
and it's embarrassing.
They fail, and it's, yeah.
But Jessica, also today there's a poll that said 61% of California Democrats oppose the plan to throw out the Independent Redistricting Commission. Do you think that holds, or can he persuade them that he's right?
So the problem with that poll is it didn't actually ask the question that applies to what Gavin Newsom is offering, which is to not get rid of the Independent Commission on a long-term basis, but to suspend it. He's offering 3 different maps, 3 different versions of what's possible. It'll be on a ballot measure, so it will be democratically voted on November 5th. And that poll question basically said, do you want to just get rid of the Independent Commission? He's saying to suspend it until 2030. He knows how important independent redistricting is. It was Schwarzenegger's baby. He's spoken to the governor about that, former governor and former governor. So that poll is not applicable to what's actually going on here. I know it did get a lot of pickup. Kellyanne says all these people have been rejected. Gavin Newsom hasn't been rejected. He's been elected and reelected and recalled and then elected again. And he won that quite handedly. So I don't know where you're getting that. You can make fun of Adam Schiff, Alex Padilla, whoever you want, but California needs to do something because of what Donald Trump has asked Texas to do. And there is no reason that Democrats should show up with a knife to a gunfight. And that's what he's arguing. And it's not just that, so Texas will pick up 5 seats. What Gavin Newsom could potentially do if the voters decide, again, this is about democracy, that they want to go full tilt, they could get 9 seats. So they could get 5 Republicans out, and they could also shore up 4 vulnerable Democrats in swing seats and make sure we get those as well.
It's
and when
easy
there
to get
are
elected, I'll clarify, it's easy, simple to get elected
Is
and
it?
reelected and reelected as a Democrat, as a socialist, as a
That's not-
as a coddle,
Gavin Newsom is a
as a
socialist?
coddle criminals. Has he
What?
condemned Mondami? Has he condemned what's going on
Kellyanne,
here?
stop just like
No, hold
throwing
on.
whatever on
No,
the
no,
wall
no,
about this. You're
Jesse,
just
excuse
using
me.
buzzwords.
No, I don't need to use buzzwords. Here's
Really,
the substance
Mondani
of
has
this
nothing
guy.
to do with Gavin Newsom.
Oh, New York City has nothing to do with the governor of California. They're the same party, as is your party. But since you invoked my
Is
name, we're going to do
mid-
Fox News debate rules, and I get 30 seconds. Here's what I meant.
I never
It is
get that
simple.
rule.
It is so simple to be elected, reelected. As a Democrat in California, it's impossible to govern as these kinds of Democrats in California is all I mean. His policies are being rejected. People do want tough on crime. They don't want fewer cops on the beat. They don't want fewer Border Patrol people helping them. They don't want schools that are failing their kids year in and year out, and Democrats insisting everything's okay. He wants to be president in 2028. He ought to find a new country to try to do that.
Let's ask the Californian what you think, Greg Gutfeld.
I'm struck about how finally you see passion among Democrats, but it's not about a policy. It's about a power-based initiative. It's about how can we do this so we stay in power. It's not about homelessness, drug addiction, fires, or trans, or crime, or the border. It's about redistricting. And then their fire is up. Gavin is so creepy, he makes American Psycho look like Pippi Longstocking. Again, with Taco, they don't get it. You know, if you want a meme or anything to be memorable, it has to be truth taken from absurdity. But if you are the absurdity, it's not possible. They should have learned that from Dark Brandon, where they tried to make dementia cool. Oh, yeah, sure, Joe is frail, confused, and incoherent, but he can almost put on his sunglasses by himself. Gavin can't be Trump because behind Trump's charisma is specific common sense policies. He understands people. Build a wall, deport criminals, eradicate vagrancy, get trans out of sports. What is Gavin for? Nobody knows. He cannot point to one policy. It's not about crime. It's not about the wildfires. It's nothing. I don't know what he stands for. And it leads me to this other thing about trying to figure out why Democrats are so lazy. And they are literally lazy. They think that if they just focus on Trump, then they don't have to assess these other issues. There's like 6 or 7 issues. He says people are scared. He says that Trump's going to run for a 3rd term. These are very easy things to say. They're hypothetical. They're not true, but it's easy. So if Democrats know the problem, why don't they solve it? Are they allergic to work? How are you allergic to work? It makes me think that when they look at a problem, they see the effort and the inconvenience that is put on them to reach that point. where Republicans actually see the outcome of the work. And that makes the inconvenience and the effort worth it. So we're going to be unpopular if we crack down on crime. So people will call us transphobic if we want men out of women's sports. So people are going to call us xenophobic because we want a wall. But that's what we go through to get to the solution. The Democrats, however, are just focused on the effort and the inconvenience of losing status if they were to grow some balls.
If they wanted to do the work, they wouldn't steal 5 seats. And that's what Donald Trump asked them to do.
Well, that's a political question. I'm talking about people's concerns. And right now, you're in big trouble.
No,
Jessica.
I'm not.
Yes, you are. If I didn't have to go to the bathroom right now, we would have a serious conversation.
I say let go, Greg.
All right, up next, President Trump is offering his blunt take on the leaders of the Democratic Party. We'll be right back.
They are led by insane people.
Click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You won't get it anywhere else.